Hi, Gareth.
Hi.
Hi, let's speak about this interesting molecule which you mentioned in our previous podcast. Tell me a
Oh,
little bit
yeah,
about
sure.
it.
Well, I'm talking about redox molecules, and the
Mhm.
discovery of redox molecules is probably the most important medical breakthrough of our lifetime. They're the deepest cell signaling molecules ever discovered. They're naturally produced in the mitochondria and in the cell, and they control all cellular health function. So it doesn't matter which organ, which part of the body, redox molecules control the health of all cells and the functions of those cells. They sort of live and work at the interface of energy and matter, where cellular communication um, activates biological programming of our systems and cell processes, including energy itself. So it's like when you're able to take in redox molecules, it's like your inner doctor. So anything else which is working, any other vitamin, mineral, antioxidant, the latest fire, glutathione, for instance, it will all work better if your cell signaling is working better. And that is down to the quality of your redox molecules in your body. So an example how you can see how this works. Our molecules, redox molecules, die down about 10% every decade after puberty. And so you can see this when you're young, say a young kid, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, cuts their finger. The next day you can't even see the mark. Sometimes it's already healed.
Mhm.
You cut that same finger when you're 50, and it takes you 3 or 4 weeks to repair. And this is because our cell signaling has died down. Of course, when it's completely died down, we die. Um, so that's the power of this, because although there's lots of studies on this, and it's used, for instance, to disinfect. It's used in hospitals, redox molecules, but to disinfect in a way. But they're so volatile that they're gone. They disappear. If they touch metal, for instance, they just disappear. So
Mhm.
the problem has been, or the challenge has been, not that to understand redox molecules, but how to suspend redox molecules outside the body. Because within the body, they're made in microseconds, and they're used up automatically all the time. So we don't have a stock of them, if you like. They just get used uh, uh, as they're made. But one company has done so much work, groundbreaking work, and they've managed to suspend redox molecules in a drink and in a gel. So now we can actually take in every day, and I absolutely do this every day, is morning and night, I'm taking in a saline solution, which has redox molecules suspended in that solution, which is then repairing my body wherever it needs to go. So it's like
Wow.
an inner
Amazing.
doctor. Yeah, it's really fabulous. So as you can tell, I'm super excited by it. I'm noticing things myself. I'm noticing, certainly getting clients we have who are having fabulous results with this as well.
Yeah, amazing. So it gives you energy, and also the way how you eat, you don't eat meat, how it is related to these molecules. Can you tell me what was the major reason that you decided not to eat meat and go
Oh
vegan?
yeah, sure, absolutely. I went to well, as I was having a knee issues at the time. Again, I was already thinking I don't just need to go to the doctor here. The doctor and the surgeon, they're not curing this. So I started going to see an osteopath who was this was again more than 30 years ago, and he was a brilliant guy. And every a couple of times when I went in to see him, I had sinus issues, and he said, "Have you got sinus issues again?" I said, "Yeah, I have." I said, "I don't know why." I said, "Every couple of months, I seem to have to go to the doctor to get penicillin or antibiotic or some way." And he
Mm.
said, well, stop drinking dairy. And I went, what? He said, yeah, stop eating cheese or drinking milk. He said, that's a huge influencer of that type of stuff. And I went, okay, I'll give it a try. You know, I had no other education at all at that time.
Mm.
And immediately, within days, my sinus issues stopped. I have never, ever had a problem since. And that was more than 30 years ago. And and then he said to me, "Well, now you've done that, really, you should you might want to take a look at giving up meat as well as dairy." And by then, I really believed in him then, because I'd had this fantastic result with the dairy issue,
Mm.
and so I dived in. Then I absolutely dived in, and I ended up probably the two crossroads there again, or two significant things happened. One is I came across a book called The China Study. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And the China Study is the biggest study ever done on nutrition, and it was done in the it was done, I think, in the mid to late 70s, because the Chinese premier got cancer and decided he was going to find a cure. And so the Chinese government funded a UK and American university to work together and do a population study on diet in China. And the people couldn't move around, so they were stuck. But because it was such a vast land, they had different diets, so they were able to match uh, sicknesses with, or health, I should say, health and sickness with the type of diet that people were eating. And then
Wow.
they did tests on, and they the thing I remember, the biggest thing for me to come out of that book was the biggest indicator of, or for cancer and heart disease, was excess animal protein in the body. And
Mhm.
so once I read that, that was a big jump. That was made it much easier for me to not eat meat, which wasn't doing anyway by then. But it made it very, very easy, and it got my identity to where I said before I just saw myself as a non-meat eater. And then I came across a guy called Dr. John McDougall, who's based in California, and he's also close to a fasting clinic called True North Health. And I went several times to John McDougall's programs. Even took my parents. I tried, but it was too late. They just couldn't take
Mm.
it on board. And I took one of my sons and my daughter and my sister. And but I really have followed John McDougall ever since, and he has been a bastion of, the good guy fighting against the meat and dairy industry, and the bad stuff behind that. So yeah, those are two crossroads for me.
Yes, really. Thank you for sharing this, because it is like a paradox. Yes, it is a paradox. Like this meat and dairy industry, and
Hmm.
when people not conscious about this, they just think that it is good for their health. It is like milk; they think it is good. Cheese is good, and I first time heard about this, that dairy is not healthy, when I was in UPW with Tony Robbins.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
also heard it there. Yeah.
yes, yes, that where I first time heard it, and it really made me think, because he showed the study, and they discovered that the bones of people who live in countryside, who have cows and who drink milk, they have all osteoporosis, like their bones are very weak and inside like empty. And that's
Yeah.
why they break it so easy if they fall. Yes, and that milk creates acidity and inflammation in the body. And it was a question for me, so why nobody just speaks about this, right? Like, why everywhere just like drink
Yeah.
milk and be healthy? And it would be so easy, right? If it would be just taught in school, and like how to be healthy, right? And it is just a very big mystery, right? Like, and we understand that what is behind, right? All these businesses and all these industries, and all this also medical pharmacy industry, And you mentioned about diabetes before. Yes, like how people get um, dependent on insulin. Maybe they
Hmm.
don't need it at all, right? So all these things really sometimes are really scary, and that's how it is so important just to wake up and understand that it is you who have to take responsibility
Right. Mm.
of your health, of your children, how you teach them, because what is your level of awareness will help all your family. Yes, and you will save so much time and money and also emotions if you become aware and you if you start taking actions now. Because as you said, it can be late. Some people recognize this, but it is late. So it is always better to just when you are young and keep it is easy, yeah, it is easy to keep health and stay younger when you are young,
Yes.
then go backwards and try to catch something, right, when it is already like car goes downhill, it is much difficult to bring it back. So when you are there, it is just easier to just keep it going and go further up on the top when you
Unfortunately, there's probably less people. Of course, there's less people in pain with their health the younger they are. So the motivation for people, unfortunately, comes when they get sick a lot of the time, and that's when they're older. Because again, it's another big issue here. I mean, if we ate if we went and ate a burger and tomorrow we get sick, then we think, hang on, I better not eat burgers. But it doesn't come for 20 or 30 years or 40 years. That's the problem. But it is, it takes, as you said, it takes someone to start thinking about their own health. And perhaps I would have never have got there if I hadn't been injured initially in my sports career. So that turned out to be a blessing for me in the end. But it still takes a lot of work, and it's a daily thing as well to because these brain chemistries are so powerful. If my wife, buys some chocolate biscuits and she puts them in the cupboard, it's like every time I walk past that cupboard, that chocolate biscuit is shouting at me, "Come and eat me! Come and eat me!"
Mhm.
It's not easy to stay away, but there you go.
Yes, and I think that it is difficult to tell yourself that I'm quitting this and I never will eat it, like psychologically, and those paradigms just kick off and say, "No, I'm not going to do you. Yeah, I'm not going to leave you." So we can just make a little like trick, and we just say, "What if I don't eat it today? Right,
Yes,
one day, today."
excellent. Yeah.
And we just focus on today, not doing this.
Hmm.
And then tomorrow we do the same. We say, what if I just today, just one day today? And if we go, we mark this, how many days we did this. And then when we mark it and it become like 20 days, 30 days, then we just start noticing that we don't have that craving.
Hmm.
We just become neutral, like if somebody smokes and we don't smoke, we don't feel right that we don't, and the same like people eat but we don't. So it is a little trick how we can win, yeah, win, because it is
Yeah.
really a battle, it is a fight, and our paradigms, these multiple of habits which deeply rooted in our subconscious mind, and they
Mm.
use to control us. It is not who we even before we think, they already control us, and we react even before we even think it is good for me or not. We already
Yes.
take it and put in our mouth, right? So because it is just habitual behavior, it is like multitude of habits, we just react things and without even thinking. So we have to start getting like this power back, And of course it will take time, but at least like when we start tricky doing like this one day, okay, let's me be conscious about this day only. Yes, and then another day, and this
Yeah.
is how we can win.
Some of the really useful tips, or a couple of tips that I can give that were really useful for me is when traveling, is just prepare your own stuff the day before. Just take it with you. You know, you can put in a pack, put in your bag, and then you don't have to, because if you allow yourself to get hungry, we're pretty much trained to eat anything that comes in front of us. So
Mhm.
stopping yourself getting hungry. I quite like the intermittent fasting. It's very easy to do. So I generally don't eat from 8 o'clock in the night after that until after midday the next day. So my body gets a break every single day from that. Fasting, water fasting. Again, when I went to the fasting clinic in California, it's an amazing place, True North Health Center, and I learned about fasting. And again, it's an incredible thing if usually forced on people. The last time I did it was when I got COVID, so I thought, oh great, I got a chance to fast. So I just drank water
Mhm.
for 10 days, and it's amazing how the body again will heal itself when it's allowed to. Because if you don't have more and more food going in, you don't have your body wasting energy breaking down food. All your energies, resources are focused on getting rid of the bad stuff which is inside you. Takes 3 to 5 days normally, go through a healing crisis, and then it's like amazing clarity. But it's you got to rest in that time, and you should have someone looking after you as well during that period. But it's another great thing to do.
Yeah, and you discover so much energy is within.
Hmm.
Like it is another paradox that you didn't eat 3 days, but you feel so energized and
Yes.
so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah, tips are you know people often struggle, fall over with a very small stuff. So one of the things I do when I'm coaching people with their diet generally, or to be more healthier, is don't bring it in the house. If you bring it in the house, like I said, it's shouting at you from behind the cupboard door, "Come and eat me," "Come and eat me." And I years ago I wrote an article on the Trojan horse, which is the supermarket trolley, because if it comes out of the supermarket in the trolley, it's going in your house. What are you going to do with it? You're going to throw it out? No, you're going to eat it at some stage. And you have all these things going through your head saying, well, I paid for it now. It'll be a waste if I don't eat it. It's just, no, if you eat it, it'll be, your body never looks the other way. It'll be one of those things going into your body that will have a negative effect rather than a positive effect.
Yes,
So,
and we have been created such in a marvelous way that we have good bacteria who fighting with the bad. Yes, all the time. Like we have army forces inside us who fighting for our health, for our life,
mhm,
for our energy. And if we eat well, we help them. But if we don't eat well, it means we help bad bacteria more. And this is how we will lose this fight just by making those bad choices. So rather than helping our bacteria which are in us, which helping us to live long and be in a great energy state.
uh-huh, exactly. I think,
Great.
yeah, I think having this scientific breakthrough with redox molecules really will be it's already happened, but most people don't know about it. So it will be the biggest science breakthrough in health that we have certainly in our lifetimes. In my belief, it's huge. So um, people would like to have an easy way, and in a way, this is sort of a biohack. It's an easy way. I don't like that for 100% because but it is definitely working for people, and I think it's an incredible science. And like you said, the body is so amazing. What we've got here is just doing so many things automatically for us. It's just incredible. And if we can give it a bit of fuel, which actually helps it repair, so it can then work for us in a better and better way, it's almost like a bit of time defiance, you know.
Yes, and I wanted also to ask you in your practice coaching people for their
Mhm.
better health and fitness, did you have clients who had mental diseases like such as depression or anxiety, and that they started eat better and using these methods which you spoke about and recovered
Yeah,
without
well,
medical all these pharmaceutical drugs and
that's a great question, and I would say that my awareness of that wasn't good enough for many years. But over the last 3 or 4 years, it's not just come to my awareness a lot more, but to many people. And that's another reason for me to get so excited, because again, redox molecules are responsible for a lot of that. And if they're dying down faster, then the way to deal with the effect it has on mental health can be terrible. But that's why, so replenishing them, we've seen changes and have testimonials, if you like, from people who have just feel after they say, well, I just feel better, and that's wonderful to help people do that.
yeah, so there are always alternatives. Again, it depends where we look. If we just go where 99% of people go, to the drugstore, pharmaceutical shops, it is one way, but there is always a different way. And I had always this perception that look where 1% is going and go there.
Hmm.
Don't follow the masses. So I use this every time, and also regarding the health, I was searching for what is the alternative. And for me and my family, we use electromagnetic device like this.
Okay.
It is really small and
Hmm.
easy, and it has 220 different complexes. So when I on it, it just gives me the list of different complexes, and I just go down like this and choose and keep it in my pocket. So it is also does amazing stuff. So I think that combining what you said and other technologies for people who really do research in this to
Uh-huh.
find that ways, and it is all available. It is just us who have to look for it and find solution, not just blindly going where everybody goes. This
Absolutely.
is my attitude towards life and health.
Well, there's a well-known saying, isn't there? If you do what everyone else is doing, you'll get what everyone else has got. And we have this tsunami of sickness hitting already upon us, actually, in the Western world. And if you don't want to go there, then you're absolutely right. You have to go somewhere else, and maybe it will take reading up on the device you just showed. Maybe it will take going to a yoga class and actually understanding what yoga can do for you, or Reiki, or what an osteopath, or maybe it will take reading some a book this thick about redox matters. It Whatever it takes, start your journey. And you said earlier that it's better if you start earlier in life. Absolutely, it's better if you start early in life, but it's never too late to start either. And it is, as you said, Elena, it's more difficult when you're older, because you have these ingrained habits. But if you've got something which is making you sick in some way, then I encourage you to take Elena's advice and look at other sources of help, and natural sources, and alternative methods of regaining your health, because it can be done.
Yes, and I would also say believe in yourself and don't trust everything 100% what doctors tell you. Maybe this is a very bold statement, but my mother had two heart strokes, and doctors told her that she has to take medicine every day. Like they gave her like 20 different prescriptions, and it was like a palm of these drugs that she had to take every day. Now she doesn't take anything. It is already, she's 85, like
Hmm.
she uses this
Wow,
device, and also uh, we eat healthy, so she walks every day,
great.
she's very active, and she doesn't take any drugs. So I don't say that I'm here anti-medicine propaganda, no, but really I think that everybody just has to be conscious, because all has side effect, and you there are options now that you can choose and be
Yes.
healthy and believe in yourself. The worst thing I think that when people say I am sick, it is like this is done. I am just this, and if they accept this, that they
Hmm.
cannot be healthy, it is the worst thing that can happen, because whatever happens, there were so many, even Joe Dispenza events, like how people come in the wheelchairs and then start walking or started hearing or seeing. It is all miracles happening, but it comes all within. And the biggest victory is that believing in yourself and conquering yourself, conquering those sicknesses, and understanding that is the sign for you to
Hmm.
change something. And when you understand why it happened, so how I can go reverse and what I have to stop and do, start doing something new, this is maybe the solution to your health.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I go back and just been so grateful for my injury, because I needed that. It took that injury to happen for me to do what you just suggested, and just take stock and think, hang on, this is not working, what I'm doing right now. Let me start questioning, where's my food coming from? And I'm grateful for the osteopath who first put me on to that vegan based diet, plant based diet. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah, this journey, and all starts with awareness. Awareness, it is like an onion with many different layers. So when we start this journey and we become aware of ourselves, what we do on daily basis, what we eat, how we move, how we plan our day, and then we see results. And there is always the cause and effect, and everything what happens, the cause is ourselves.
Hmm.
And sometimes maybe we don't want to see that or we deny, but it is always 100%. So if you want to be healthy, if you want to be healthy, wealthy, start making right decisions to you. Start making decisions which are aligned with that goal.
Yeah, because after we leave home, there's nobody forcing food down our mouth. There's probably nobody forcing food down our mouth from the age of 5 or 6. But so it's our decision from then. And I guess some people, well, I know, don't guess, some people are still trapped in that when they get into their 50s and 60s and 70s and beyond. So
Yeah, thank you, Gareth, very much for such an amazing conversation. I really enjoyed it. And I would like to know more about those molecules and how to help my body to stay young and healthy longer.
yeah,
So I would like to
absolutely.
you to share in description to this video where we can learn more about this.
Absolutely, love to do that. And the same for what you showed as well. I'm always open to looking at things which are additional help, which will help us perform better, help our bodies perform better.
Yes, yes, we're here to share and help each other to be healthy, wealthy, and happy.
Yes, that's a plan. An
Yeah.
energetic way into, why shouldn't we live till gone 100? But not just live, not just be alive, but really live and do stuff we want to do and still be able to travel, still be able to exercise, still be able to have fun in life and not be, restricted in our movements and our thoughts.
Yes, I was so excited seeing one lady, 184 years old, running marathon. So I said, yes, this is me in 140 years. So what I have to do now to get ready for that marathon?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Gareth. So enjoy
And
your
thank you
day
very much
and
for having me on board as well. It was on with you. It was great to be here.
yeah, and we'll speak again.
Bye bye.